you want to build up all of these profiles. I don't care what you've heard out there. I don't care what someone has said. Hey, just Dun & Bradstreet, or hey, just worry about Experian. Hey, just worry about Equifax. I want you to make a vow, not to me, not to Rad, not to whoever you're watching this with. Make a vow to yourself and to your business that you are going to spend time building out each of your, what I call the big three: your Experian, your business, your Experian, Equifax, and your Dun & Bradstreet. Now, I'm going to add Credit Safe on there for a couple of reasons that I'm going to give you guys as this presentation goes on. The reason why I'm going to give you Credit Safe, spoiler alert, is they're starting to grow here in the US. They're really big overseas, over in Europe, over in the UK, but they're starting to really grow here in the US. And it's one that we've been watching really closely, because now banks and lenders are starting to tap into Credit Safe a lot more. And so I'm obviously going to give you guys some accounts that you can add to your profiles to help build that up and help strengthen up your profiles. But don't neglect any of these profiles, because you never know which one the bank is going to pull from, in addition to your personal credit. Because Rad, that's another thing that I often hear is, well, I can just personally guarantee everything. And we actually had a call with a relationship manager that we brought in, which is a business banker, one of the best in the country for US Bank, or from US Bank. He spoke in one of my calls on Tuesday, actually Tuesday that just passed. And I have some clients that were on that call. So if you guys are on here, you guys can kind of back this up. If you were on that call, he mentions, hey, yes, we're taking a look at personal credit, but we're also now starting to have some of these merger scores where we're also taking a look at your business credit profiles. And so he specifically mentioned Experian and Dun & Bradstreet, which I thought was interesting, because a lot of us think that, well, Dun & Bradstreet isn't normally checked by banks, but banks are starting to, especially more now, check Dun & Bradstreet, at least the way that your profile is aligned, and they're also checking your Experian and your Equifax. So starting out with the big boy, right? The head honcho, it's going to be Dun & Bradstreet, which is the largest business credit bureau. Now, most suppliers, most leasing companies are going to use the data that's on here, because it's just shared just across the entire network, because they have so much data on our businesses, right?
Real quick, Irv.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I want to make this. I want to make sure people are awake right now, because we're gonna dive into some super juicy stuff, right?
Go ahead.
So let's see this on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna say this on a scale of 1 to 10. How well is your Dun & Bradstreet built out? Be honest, because we need to know what to focus on as well.
Yes.
1 to 10. Okay, we have a 0, we have 1, we have 0, we have 1, 0, 1, 8, 1, 3, 0, 0. Okay, we have a lot of work to do with Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, I'm going to gauge the room through this. Okay, so when we get to each bureau, I'm going to gauge the room with honest answers, so that way Irv can know what to speak more about on each slide as well. So if he has additional thoughts, he's just going to pour into you guys. Guys, we are not gatekeeping here. We are literally pouring this all into you, okay? So it's very important that when I ask a question, you give an honest answer, so that way I can read the room and we can focus on what people really need to know about, okay? So we have a lot of people with 0, 1, and 2, and 3, okay? So there's a lot of people failing class in Dun & Bradstreet. So preach to them, Irv, preach to them.
Beautiful. I love to see it. Let's make sure that we can kind of help them out, and you guys can get out of that, because you can. Power's in your hands. And so with Dun & Bradstreet, most suppliers, lenders, and leasing companies are going to be using their data, because this is where most of that data is fed. So whenever you go out and you're trying to get a commercial building, let's say leased out under your business's name, they're going to be pulling your Dun & Bradstreet report. Now, it's not like, here's the other thing. I want you to have a clear separation in your mind of when you think somebody checking your credit, how it operates in the personal realm or in the personal credit world versus in the business credit world. In the personal credit world, you have to get notified, meaning you are going to get hit with the hard inquiry, right? If your credit is frozen, especially for those of us that have been around the block a couple of times, sometimes you freeze your credit so that no one can pull it. Like when you go out to a bank, when you're applying for a credit card, right? But what ends up happening is they ask you to unfreeze it so that they can make that, so they can look into a real time or snapshot in real time on your personal credit. Business credit, we don't have the same laws and rules that govern us in personal credit. It's more like the wild, wild west in the business credit world. The reason why I set it up this way is because if you are applying for a, let's say for a lease or for a vendor account or for a business credit card, and they go to pull Experian business side, or they go to pull your Equifax commercial, or the bank or the lender or the leasing company goes to pull your Dun & Bradstreet reports, You'll get notified once it's been done, but they don't actually have to tell you, is where I'm getting at. Which is why, again, I want you guys to build this out and really have that credit worthiness that we're going to be talking about here in today's session, because you want to have something known as a DUNS number, which is a 9-digit number. Now, I don't want you to confuse this with your EIN. Your EIN is what you get from the IRS. That's like the social security number for your business. Your DUNS number is what you get and what you apply for directly with Dun & Bradstreet, so that you can start getting credit specifically at that agency. That's how big they are. They're so big in their database that every single business has to register and have their own DUNS number in order for them to start reporting some of those trade lines that you're going to be adding, right? So if you're wondering, okay, cool, got that down. I hear it's important. I'm filling in class right now. How can I get access to a DUNS number for free? So I'm so glad that you asked, because I'm going to give it to you here. So the first thing that you would want to do is you would want to go to dnb.com or dunandbradstreet.com. Quick Google search. You can't miss it. The page needs to look like this. Now, the arrow indicates where you need to go. So you're going to hit where it says DUNS number, and then it's going to prompt you with this little drop-down menu right here. From there, you are then going to click where it says get a DUNS number. Now, I'm going to speak to two kinds of people coming up in these next couple slides, so pay very close attention. The first group of us is for those of us who possibly already have a business. And so what you want to do is you are going to submit, let's say I did a mock here. So I put zip code where our business is located, and then I put ABC, right? If your business pops up, or if you see it, you'll click on it, and then it'll say, congratulations, your business already has a DUNS number. Now, if you've been in business for some time, you have your EIN, you've already been doing some business, you have some business credit cards, you have some vendor accounts, odds are, and as a matter of fact, I'll say 9 times out of 10, you most likely already have a DUNS number and you don't even know it. I can't tell you how many people I speak to day in, day out where, yeah, Irv, I've been in business since like 2015. Yeah, I've made a couple purchases here and there, you know, using my LLC, using my S Corp. But, you know, I haven't built up any credit. And then when I say, hey, well, you know what, you may want to go to Dun & Bradstreet and see if your business is already registered, because as soon as you make one purchase, it's already reporting over on that side through your business. You probably don't even know it, because it's most likely reporting as a trade reference, but that's enough for them to, again, open up a file for your business over on that side, which is going to save you a lot of time, because now you don't have to wait, you know, 15, 21, 30 days, however long it's taking for you to get a DUNS number. Now, the good thing about this is that if your company appears, that means that you already have an active DUNS number. With that active DUNS number, most likely you already have a score. Now, some people are pleasantly surprised and they say, wow, you know, out of 100, because it ranges from 1 to 100, 100 being excellent, 1 being poor, they'll say, wait a minute, I got like a 70. I haven't even really done anything to build this out. Congratulations. You have some, you know, you're on the right track for building out your business credit. And then some people, they say, this kind of sucks. Like, I have a failing score. I'm at a 10 or I'm at a 20, or I had no idea that some of these accounts were even reporting over to Dun & Bradstreet. But the good thing with this is that, again, you are already establishing, again, for those of us that already have, like if you were to do that search right now, you're already on your way. Like, you've cut that time in half of how long it takes for you to get that DUNS number, and you're one step ahead. But what about those of us that don't have it, right? What about those of us that are on the call and we're just thinking, wait a minute, dude, I didn't see my business. I've never even seen this website in my life. You're going to have that feature right there. So I always want you to first search for your business, even if you don't have an account with Dun & Bradstreet, just because you never know. If you have the matching account, again, you're pleasantly surprised and it says, hey, your account pops up. At that point, claim the account. They'll ask you for a couple things about you, your business, you know, your driver's license, copy of your LLC, your EIN. You may need to speak to an account manager on the phone. That's totally fine. Boom, you're in. But if you don't, and you've searched your business, at that point, you would just go ahead and select, I don't see my business. And then you would create your account and you would register your business. Now, I usually recommend just go with the free credit signal. Now, if you have no idea what credit signal is, this is essentially where you're able to monitor your credit score with Dun & Bradstreet. Now, I'm going to give you guys some additional resources later on, but this is going to give you the most in-depth, scoring tool specific to them, because they're the ones that are hosting your data versus a third-party source. So yes, every now and again, we're going to check out other places like Nav. Every now and again, we'll check out TOEFL, right? But I always like to go directly to the source, because that's exactly where it's being reported first, and it's not being diluted into a third-party software. Does that make sense so far, you guys? Let me know in the chats. Rad, how we doing so far with time, bro? We good? Rad, did he fall asleep on me? Where you at?
No, man, I had my mic muted first. No, we're doing amazing, bro. Keep at it.
Good deal. Look, we have a lot of ground to cover, and every now and again, I'm going to temperature check you guys, because it is a lot of information, right? We're slowly starting to build it up. I promise you, especially for those of us that are a bit more experienced, it's going to get juicier and juicier. So it's going to start building up. And so a pro tip for you is, the most important thing for now is that you at least have that 9-digit DUNS number and have an active file prior. Notice that I put an underline. Notice that I made it in bold. Prior to setting up accounts and making purchases. You want to have that 9-digit number first, which again is your DUNS number, prior to going out to Grainger, prior to going out and applying for Uline, prior to going out and applying for fleet cards, prior to going out to Sam's Club, right? You want to have that, because now it's going to, again, speed up your process, and you're not having to search to see, okay, what do I need to find first? I'm giving you the first place that you need to go, which is to set up your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet.